Wham. Here I go again. How's everybody doing? Nick, what's up, buddy? What's going on, Aiden? Good to see you. Lauren, how's it going? Wrap this. I'm back. Good to see you. Yeah, we are back on the set again. Working on this build. So I'm just going to get right back to work. Not going to waste no time with the pageantry and the chit-chats. I'm going to get right to it. Aiden, how's it going, my friend? Corey, 2 more days, man. Just wrapped up my school semester. All right, bro. That's what I like to hear, man. That's what I like to hear. Get that schoolwork done. Get it out the way. Then you can play. You focus on other things. That's awesome, man. Only thing we just got to figure out what's the best time to do it. I'm thinking 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. That's my opinion. Hey, Julian. How you doing, my man? Had a great class today. Awesome, awesome. I'm glad you liked the class. So, guys, on YouTube, got one of my new students, Julian, checking in. Yeah, man, I'm happy that you're enjoying the class, man. You're doing such a great job in the class, bro. So I want you to keep it up. Keep challenging yourself every class. Tomorrow's class is gonna be another challenge. So I want you to step up to it and give it your best shot. Okay? That's all I want you to do in the class. That's all I encourage. To come in and, just do what you can. Yeah. I just going to be sharing a video tomorrow. Kind of excited about this video. It's kind of weird. But it's a video nonetheless for our next week's classes. Next week we're going to be starting another round of our comic book centric classes. So I'm really excited about it. It's called Comic Book Versus. So it's going to be really fun. It's going to be about the comic book that came out in the 90s where DC went up against Marvel. So, hey, what's going on, Brick Boy? Good to see you. So, Brian Williams, good to see you. Alvaro, good to see you. Moto, how's it going? Noah, good to see you, my friend. So, question for you guys. O2B09, good to see you. Are you guys fans of Archer? Have you ever heard of the show Archer? Is Corey making a new haul? Corey is trying to see how he can change the haul. I want to start building the scene for this haul, and the haul that I currently have is a little bulky, and I want to change it up just a little bit. So that's what I'm doing right now. I still have the original on the side wall over here. So I just want to make sure if I decide to make this change, that the change makes sense. So I'm just trying different methods on how to build it, see if there's any difference in how I build it.
Ultron builds himself a new body, but wants to be even stronger. So he makes a deal to get some stolen vibranium from Ulysses Claw from way back, who still has all that.
Yeah, this looks like the exact same thing, right?
But Claw later gets replaced with a super high-tech thing.
Movies, no. Comics, yes. Corey is talking in third person. Well, I'm answering Noah's question on YouTube. So, based on his question, he said, is Corey making a new Hall of Armor? So I answered that yes, Corey is making a new Hall of Armor. I almost sent you my autograph as a joke. You should. Moto, you should. I mean, even though I got some of your merch, your stickers, I have to locate a area. Once I redesign my room up here, or move to a bigger area, I'm definitely gonna have a section for just you, Moto. Seriously, I'm super proud of you, man. I'm super proud of you. I've only known you for a couple of months, but I'm real proud of what you've been able to accomplish with your builds. So hats off to you, bro. Definitely hats off to you.
All the other Avengers are like, hey, we tried this before, and this happened. So maybe don't, but they do it anyway. And with some lightning from Thor's hammer, the body comes to life and becomes the Vision, who actually is a good guy and is also kind of invincible. He proves his good intentions by lifting Thor's hammer. So Ultron's big plan is to lift up Sokovia and drop it like a meteor onto the Earth, killing everyone. The Avengers show up and fight with help from War Machine, who actually got the memo this time, and Nick Fury in his helicarrier. And they defeat Ultron and all his Ultron bots and save the day. Not without any repercussions, though. Pietro Maximoff dies saving Hawkeye. Also, a kid who was in Sokovia doing charity work is killed in the battle, as is the family of Helmut Zemo.
All right, let's check. I'm going to check this out. I'm going to see if how this would look if I fully assemble it. So let's get to work.
Because if a robot army could do that, I was a sad, strange little magnet to it. He instead takes a page out of the Loki book and decides to take parts from the inside.
Oh no!
The battle, Bruce Banner holds out and decides to
How did
fly
it
out
even fall?
which eventually ends up in space. After a while, it crash lands on the planet of Sakaar, that junk planet from before. Because being on a foreign planet is pretty stressful, Banner stays in Cold War. He's found by Valkyrie, who, remember, is now a drunk who scavenges stuff, and she brings him to the Grandmaster, this very weird, eccentric guy whose brother is actually the collector of Rhoda. He runs an arena gladiator fighting thing on this planet, and the whole
very happy with my
over the next 2 years, Hulk fights in the arena.
Missing my fin.
Comes closer to Valkyrie, and overall is really just loving life. After all this, Thor is still weirded out by his visions and goes off to look for the Infinity Stones. He goes around the universe for 2 years looking for them, which for the record is a Marvel one-shot I would love to see, but it is completely unsuccessful. The Avengers back on Earth now set up base.
Great. I lost my fin.
This big new fancy facility.
But yeah, this is my land shark.
Falcon, War Machine, and Vision.
Really like it.
Why the indestructible laser shooting hyper-intelligent robot who can lift Thor's hammer needs training, I'm not entirely sure.
I don't know why it fell off or how it fell off, but I'm missing my fin.
Problems he's now having with them, which leads to them taking. Meanwhile, in space, Thanos is getting real sick of everyone failing to get him the stones, so he decides he's going to do it himself. And by that, I mean he's going to wait 3 years to do it. But he starts planning it. It involves him getting a big old glove called the Infinity Gauntlet that will let him hold the stones once he finds them. Back on Earth, the SHIELD team gets to the green and begins registering all the ingredients on the big list. So they're all accounted for someday. Kind of like in a human's version of the Sokovia Accords, which we'll get to. However, the humans at the camp predictably don't like this. And also, people start realizing that Daisy's mom is kind of evil. So a big fight ensues. In the war, which is really more of a battle between SHIELD and humans that follows, Daisy's mom is killed and Coulson loses his arm. Also, those Terrigen and human-making crystals end up in the ocean and spreading to pills and all sorts of stuff. So now Inhumans start popping up more and more around the world. Also, May's ex-husband, Garner, he gets Inhumanified and turns into this horrible monster called Flash. Also, Grant Ward wants to try to start up Hydra again, even though the Avengers just finished getting rid of him. Daisy also says goodbye to her dad, who wasn't such a bad guy after all. And he gets his memory erased.
Okay, now Corey, I have a hefty question with the Marvel figs. Should I set up a Secret Wars display and Gus in as the Beyonder? You know what? That is the buzz right now. That's the buzz right now, Nick. So I would say go for it. Make a Secret Wars setup. I think it only makes sense. That is the buzz right now. That is the rumor that's going around. that Marvel is going down the road of Secret Wars. So I think you should definitely do that. I think that'll be pretty dope. Ryan, how are you? Moto, you just blow my mind, man, down. It happened to me all of a sudden, breaking and dropping stuff. Moto, man, this is, you should feel very proud of what you did, man, what you accomplished. And, you know, your humbleness is something that, you know, is rare. Not a lot of us, you know, I'm super humble. You know, I try to be humble in everything I do. I don't like for things to go to my head, because I'm just like, yo, I'm just a person. You know, I'm just one person that does this. So, you know, I'm very happy, and I'm just thrilled that you were able to, you know, accomplish something and, you know, be a part of something that, you know, us in the Lego community, you know, we support. You know, we support and we love when one of our own, you know, someone that we know closely is able to, you know, do something like this. So I'm super happy for you, man. And for those who don't know what I'm talking about, Moto, our friend Moto Lego, you guys may have seen him on from time to time. His build, Sage, how are you? His build was featured, was one of the features in the Lego, I think, Rebuild the World. I believe that's what the hashtag was, Rebuild the World. So his wolf is on there. Every time I talk about your wolf, I keep kicking myself because I'm supposed to order this camera, this new camera, and I keep forgetting to place the order. But I gotta place that order because, you know, man, you are an inspiration to me, man, and I'm just so happy that you got a chance to really show off your work, and for thousands and thousands of people to see your work, and, you know, just keep going, man. Just keep going. I'm flattered. You should be, man. You should be. You know, you did great, man. It's awesome. Oh, love your shirt. Thank you. I like this shirt too. This is a pretty cool shirt because this is from the classic comics designs of these characters. So I got Captain America, Spider-Man. I got Hercules. You don't see that often, Hercules. I got the original Black Panther. Got Thor with the helmet. I got Iron Man with the weird face mask. I got the old school Hulk. I got Giant Man. And I got Hawkeye on the side. You know, and I got Black Widow. And this character here, I forget who this character here is. I think it's the Wasp, if I'm not mistaken. I believe that's the Wasp right here. Yeah, so I really like this. When I saw this t-shirt, I was like, yeah, I need this t-shirt. You know, and it looks like that someone colored it in with a marker. So I like that. I heard it's getting closer. Did you hear that? Yeah, Kraven the Hunter is going to be on. Yeah, that's what I've been hearing. That's the rumor. That's the rumor that Kraven the Hunter is supposed to be the next villain for should be the next villain for Spider-Man, which makes sense. The way Spider-Man Far From Home ended, with him being exposed, Peter Parker being exposed to Spider-Man, you know, they could open it up with, you know, 2 years later or a year later, Spider-Man is on the run, and you know, nefarious people have enlisted Kraven the Hunter to hunt down and try to capture Spider-Man. You know, so there's a lot of ways they can go with this story. I believe he's still going to be part of the MCU, so that's going to be cool. So he'll still be part of the MCU, and you know, hopefully we'll get a nice movie adaptation of that encounter.
Also, Wilson Fisk is still Izzy. I'm in jail. Because he's such a big crime boss, he starts making connections. Now Frank Castle has finally got all the resources he needs to kill the gangs. He thinks we're solely responsible for his family's murder.
Okay.
So he's going around doing that
So it looks like we're probably going to go with this way. Which, honestly, I don't see the difference. but the bottom part and the top part, I like the encasing of it. The only thing is the back part here. Hey, Unpredictable Cube, how you doing? I will keep building. I promise you. You better, Moto. You better. And you know what, Moto? Hey, what's going on? Bananas for life. Sorry, I didn't see you up there on Twitch. Yeah, so this is going to be the new housing for my Iron Man. So this is going to be my new housing. But yeah, Moto, you have inspired me in the way in what I build too. And I want you to know that everybody, to be honest with you, inspires me. My students that I have every single day has been an absolute joy and blessing to me because they inspire me to be at my very best in as far as teaching them. So I'm just so happy that I get a chance to teach these young kids and that these young kids can learn from me. But you know, when it comes to my own personal builds and how I do my builds, Moto, you know, you've been definitely an inspiration to me. Along with my Lego Master family, they've been an inspiration to me as well. So you know, I'm just so happy, Moto, that you've been able to truly find your niche and truly make yourself, you know, known in this mainstream. So I just wish you the best in everything that you do, man. And you know, at the end of the day, you know, we all gonna succeed together, man. So that's that positive Corey. That's that positive Corey.
And the Punisher ends up killing an old group. Electra and Stick have a falling out, and so Stick tries to have Electra killed, and she doesn't like that, so she tries to kill him. Daredevil saves the day, and Stick's kidnapped by the Hand. So Matt goes and saves Stick, but while he's doing that, Nobu reveals that Electra is a Black Sky and should be leading the Hand. She almost does, but ends up joining Daredevil instead, and they fight the ninjas together. Real Last Jedi. After a hostage situation, Daredevil and Electra go up against like an infinite supply of ninjas, and Electra ends up sacrificing herself for Daredevil. The Punisher also shows up at the last minute to get Daredevil and assist, which is a pretty awesome moment. Nobu is killed, for real this time, by Stick, and the good guys win. Except the Hand takes Electra's body and uses their dragon magic to bring her back to life so she can work. One of the 5 leaders of the Hand, the main one, Alexandra, comes to oversee her resurrection. Foggy quits and now works for Hogarth and Jessica Jones. Matt reveals he's Daredevil to Karen, and the Punisher goes out to kill everyone who's involved with his family's murder. Micro also wants some answers about the whole Cerberus thing, and so he goes into Frank's house and puts the disc there with the video on it. The Castle's unit in Afghanistan.
All right, I'm looking at another way now.
Which Frank finds and takes with him. Tiny little break from the grounded stuff here. A witch.
So I'm thinking about doing something like this, enclosing the middle part, making the little part smaller. Sloan, how you doing? I'm thinking about doing something like this instead now.
Back to the streets now.
Close this in a little bit.
And again, I know people will disagree on what years these Netflix shows in particular take place in. They are confusing, but based on the research I did, this seems to check out. Anyway, Luke also works at a bar, and one evening, because he's such a player, he starts flirting with Detective Misty Knight. The club where Luke is working is also owned by Cottonmouth, who now is a big shot crime boss. His cousin Mariah is a city councilor.
All right, let me see if I can add these Iron Man inside here.
Trying to sell Hammer Tech, Hammer, for some good money, but the operation goes wrong. Luke's secret half-brother Willow Striker is also involved here.
Because none of this means anything if I can't put my Iron Man enclosed in here. Sloan, good. I'm glad you're good. Hey, Marilyn, how are you? Good night.
But because the guy who caused the deal to go wrong is involved with Pop, one of Cottonmouth's goons goes against his orders and shoots.
All right, excuse me, guys. I got to blow my nose. I hate blowing my nose while I stream, but my nose is like stuffed. Different. Bonwheat. How are you? Bonwheat. Comment ça va?
And becomes the new big crime boss from State's Help. Diamondback decides to team up with him, setting out a plan. They'll run the crime world in Harlem, while Mariah does all the boring political stuff.
All right.
Diamondback also shoots Luke Cage twice with those magic bullets and reveals that he's actually his brother. Claire takes Luke to the doctor, who originally did the experiment on him, and bathes him in acid or boiling water or something painful, and basically restored to full strength.
Ooh,
Meanwhile,
excuse me.
back in Uriah,
Oh, okay, we're good.
smear campaign against Luke
Doing
Cage.
good. Glad to see you. Likewise.
They do this
Likewise. How's everything? Hope everything is going good. Hope you're doing good.
Eventually, Diamondback shows up in a terrible super suit, and him and Luke punch each other. Luke wins in the end against Diamondback, partly with the help of New York, Spider-Man style. Despite all of his heroics, proving himself a good guy to the police and the people of Harlem, Luke is sent back to prison because he's been discovered as Carl Lucas from back in the day, who, if you recall, despite being innocent, broke out of prison, and so still needs to serve his time. However, one of Luke's barbershop friends has a file that proves his innocence, so he's getting out soon. Also, Diamondback is taken in by that doctor who did those experiments on Luke, so he'll probably have some modifications the next time we see him. Claire's a little bummed out that he's in jail and that they can't get a cup of coffee for a while.
All right, so Maryland, allergies. You know how you feel? Yeah. Well, you know, mine is weird because it's allergies, but it's also sleep. So this week I'm doing one last camp, doing my final camp, physical camp, and I got to be there by 8:30. So I have to be up by 7 o'clock in order to get ready. And unfortunately, not unfortunately, but you know, I do have some responsibilities I have to do prior to, you know, me going to sleep. So, you know, so it is kind of cutting into the sleep. But you know, it's all good. I can handle it. So I just gotta you know, suck it up, deal with it. So sometimes my sinuses, they act up when I do that. But you know, hopefully everything works out for me.
Well, he did. And he's now a giant inhuman monster whose sole purpose really is to hunt other humans. With tons of new humans popping up around the world, now Shield's main mission
So let's switch this up.
protecting Inhumans and training.
Well, let's put you in the
Carter
middle.
is the government-traced group called the ATCU, which is designed to track down superpowered people like humans and take them in. Basically, they're designed to replace S.H.I.E.L.D. now that S.H.I.E.L.D. has had to go underground. The head of the ATCU is this guy called Mallet, who once again is a big secret Hydra guy. So if you thought we were done with Hydra, you were sorely mistaken. The reason this ATCU exists is so Hydra can get a hold of all these Inhumans and then use them, you guessed it, to make a super soldier army. Because I'm not kidding, that's seriously 99% of Hydra's plans. So S.H.I.E.L.D. and the ATCU are fighting, Fitz is trying to get Simmons off that alien planet, which he eventually does, and Ward is still working on rebuilding Hydra. And he gets Baron von Strucker's way less cool son, Werner, to join him. In a nutshell, the main thing is, S.H.I.E.L.D. is trying to start up a team of Inhumans, while Ash, the Inhuman hunting monster, is out there going after them. Think of Ash as like a less strong or cool version of the Hulk. He changes into this monster at
Let's see.
Coulson is also getting pretty close to one of the higher-ups of the ATCU, who isn't actually evil, but then Ward shoots it in the throat. So
I like that.
Hydra also wants to get to the Mammoth, because they want to bring that Inhuman back, because they think it'll be a big secret weapon for them. So Ward, Fitz, and Coulson end up on that alien planet. Coulson's like, man, I told you, Ward, and he crushes Ward's chest with his robot hand, and then goes back to Earth. I think that's the end of Ward, but then the super powerful tentacle human, Hive, possesses Ward's corpse and then makes his way back to Earth. Hive is now leading Hydra through his body, and he absorbs people for strength, and, you know, typical stuff.
Hey, Brictacular, how are you doing, buddy?
Now, during the past, this does. However, he starts missing home and gets bored because he's kind of a spoiled brat, so he just straight up runs away when the past is over and decides to go back to New York to take back his company. That's how he thinks it works, because he's also kind of a thunder dumbass. It doesn't work though, because his old friend, Jordan Ward Meacham, if Ward, go with it, think he's a crazy homeless person. Understandably. Ward's fake dead dad, Harold, is still kind of runs the company, he controls the man, which he's starting to get kind of sick of. Then he becomes friends with Colleen. At the dojo, he also meets Claire Temple, but then is put
Yeah, Moto. Well, you know, like I said, it's all good. I gotta do what I gotta do.
He gets his company back with the help of Jerry Hogarth. He kind of sucks at business though, because he's been living in a monk city in another dimension for the past decade. He ends up meeting Harold, who's like, hey, we should work together, because I'm kind of sick of the hand controlling me, so you can go kill all of them. And Danny's like, yeah, that's my main purpose in life. I hate the hand. Madame Gow of the Hand is still selling heroin, and Danny's unhappy about that, so he ends up meeting her and agreeing to a series of challenges. The loser has to pack up and get out of the city. Danny wins, but Madame Gao breaks the promise. Plus, she's got ancient society superpowers, so there's not much you can do about it. Danny keeps consistently sucking at running his company, so he's voted out by the board along with the Meachums. Ward's also super pissed at his dad Harold, who took all of his money, so he kills Harold. But Harold comes back thanks to the hand. Danny, Colleen, and Claire go to China and take Madame Gao. Harold realizes that Ward killed him, so he frames him for drug possession. And so Ward gets locked up in the asylum. Harold now gets Joy to be his new number 2. Danny also
All right.
gets Bakuto, Colleen's art teacher, who's also secretly running a fight.
Part of me kind of likes this.
Danny finds out about this and is with that. Now this guy called Davos.
So this is a little bit.
Is Danny's old friend.
It's a little different. I like this. It's a little curved. It's curved in a little bit more. So I don't know if you see the difference. Minnie Mouse, what's up? So here's how it looks like this.
Danny then decides to team up with Harold and Joy to take down the hand and Bakuto. But Bakuto is now working with Ward, and long story short...
And this is the other version of it.
Davos is mad at Danny, but they work it out, kind of. Danny then gets...
So this is how it looks like this.
And Harold is the bad guy in the end and tries to take over.
So you see the difference?
Final battle, team up, kill Harold,
So
and burn his corpse.
I actually prefer this better. I prefer this curved version better. Now the question is, how will it look when I add double layers? That's the real question. So let's check it out. All right, I'm gonna scoot you guys down so you guys can see the madness that's going on down here.
Also, Luke Cage sends Claire a letter from prison because they're still over in Camartage. At this point, Caecilius is starting to get kind of pissed with the Ancient One because he feels like his training isn't giving him what he wants, and he starts having some friction with most of the Masters there. He also finds out that the Ancient One is drawing power from the Dark Dimension, which he thinks is pretty hypocritical, because he wants to use the Dark Dimension to see his dead family again and regain immortality, but the Ancient One told him no. So he tells a bunch of people that the Ancient One is withholding information, and that they should bring Dormammu from the Dark Dimension to her to engulf it in eternity, and a group forms to rise up against the Ancient One. They break into the library in Camartage and steal some pages from the Ancient One's book about the Dark Dimension. The Ancient One tries to stop them, but they get away in the end. At one point around here as well, the SHIELD team goes to Mexico and meets an human called Yo-Yo, who has
I'm doing pretty well. I needed a good cry today, so I watched Endgame. It was bawling by the end. Oh my gosh! Come on, Minnie.
Takes control of Daisy's mind. Do that,
I hear you though. I hear you.
He also has a vision of the future where one of them dies. Another important detail.
My girl said she needed a good cry today, so she watched Endgame. What? I go front. Endgame does make you want to sob.
So he goes and gets Dr. Wagner, a scientist who
Me, I'm sometimes, I get a little emotional, but that's more because it's like watching Marvel movies. I feel like I feel like a proud father, but I'm not a father. But I feel like a guy I'm just crazy proud and happy of what they've been able to accomplish, and the fact that they were able to accomplish this, and they thought about me as a fan. Like when they made those movies, they said, you know what kind of movie would Corey like to see next? And they made sure that they made a movie with me in mind. That's why I love Marvel so much. Now the opposite of that is DC. Now DC, they didn't think about me when they made their movies. I'll just keep it real. They did not think about me. They didn't say, what would Corey like to see in this movie? They didn't think about that. They didn't say that. They didn't think about me once when they made their movies. And that's fine. That's fine. They don't owe me anything. But, at the end of the day, I'm a fan. So, I kind of feel like I deserve a little bit more. But, maybe I'm asking for too much. Maybe I'm asking for too much. Yeah, maybe I'm asking for too much. Way too much.
Also, after Lecter's death, Matt has stopped being Daredevil for a few months now, because he's just too sad. Things aren't all bad, though. Foggy Nelson gets some help from that guy from the barbershop, and clears Luke Cage's name, and Luke gets out of prison. Luke meets up with Claire, and they get that coffee they want. Jessica Jones comes across Elektra during one of the cases, who's still doing whatever the Hand wants. Remember, Hand objective Dragon Bones, under New York, immortality. The only problem is those Dragon Bones are essential foundations for the city, so the removal of them is causing serious earthquakes and could eventually lead to the whole city collapsing. The Hand is also hiring a bunch of Harlem kids to help them kill and or clean up the messes left behind by their enemies. When Cage hears about this,
All right.
he's like, I gotta protect the people of Harlem. And Danny Rand hears about this.
Yeah, the end was real sad.
So this leads to them crossing paths.
Thanosaurus Rex.
However, they become friends
Good to
with
see
their
you.
mutual friend, Clay.
Evan Flo, how you doing? Trevin, what's going on, my man? My mom just brought me a battery box, motor, switch. Ooh. All right, Julian, you're gonna have some awesome stuff to work with, buddy. That's cool. I gotta get some new stuff myself. That's pretty cool, man. But you have to go. All right, Julian, I'll see you tomorrow for class, buddy. Great job, man. You're doing an awesome job in class. All right, keep up the great work, buddy. I'll see you tomorrow.
Need Iron Fist alive, because his Iron Fist is the key to opening the gate to those sweet, sweet dragon bones. The fight happens, Electra starts to remember who she is, and the defenders get their hands on one of the Hand leaders. Also, yeah, their superhero team name is the Defenders. This guy's not of much help though, and so Stick cuts his head off. The Hand's not very happy about this. They're running out of their immortality. The Defenders start arguing though, because they're like, if the Hand need you, Danny, you should probably hide your way. And Danny does what he does best, and is a whiny baby. So they all punch him for a while and then tie him. However, Stick, in typical Stick fashion, thinks Danny might end the world, so I'm gonna kill him. But Electra shows up and kills Stick and takes the Iron Fist to him. She also kills Alexandra, because she wants to be in charge, I guess. Daredevil and Jessica Jones find out more about that whole Daredevil found
All right.
back.
What am I building? Gracie.
After a little fight with the police,
So I'm gonna redesign my current Hall of Armor.
Danny accidentally
I kind of like it the way it is, but I feel like it doesn't look accurate to the movie.
also trying to blow up the building.
So I'm going to change it to curve in just a little bit more like this. So I actually like this a little bit better.
He gets through to her, the building collapses on them as they're kissing, and then he's saved by some guns, I think. But the day is saved, and Matt doesn't actually die. Thank God. Now it's time to introduce another very important character, very late in the game.
What was that?
Hey.
Oh, you guys caught me yawning.
He's an amazing surgeon, but he's also super
Hold on. You got a testing, placement test, pretty well. Advanced class in writing. Awesome. You start semesters in 2 weeks. Woo! Crazy. Oh, thank you. Yeah, the window idea, that was definitely something that I wanted to do. I didn't like how the suits were just open, exposed. I want to put windows in front of it.
When he gets there, Mordo, one of the masters, takes him to the Ancient One, who shows him all of the crazy alternate dimensions there are, or at least the trickiest ones. He's like, help me learn. And she's like, no, you're gross and sad and a terrible person. But then he pleads and stays at her door, so she reluctantly changes her mind. So Strange starts learning how to control the mystic arts and other dimensions, and make hologram shields and whatnot, with the help of Mordo, the Ancient One, and the bookkeeper Wong, who he befriends. He learns about the different sanctums and how they protect the world, and trains for several months. Along the way, he also stumbles upon the Time Stone, sitting in that handy necklace, the Eye of Akabane, and he figures out how to bend time with it. Mordo and Wong are like, dude, don't do that. You could get stuck in that time loop. Anyway, at one point he gets dumped on Mount Everest for his training. Just while all this other stuff is happening, remember Stephen Strange is getting great at magic this whole time. So Cap and the new Avengers are all trained up and going on missions. They're also still looking for Bucky. They hear about an ex-Hydra agent in Lagos and think it might finally be Bucky, but as they get there, they realize it's actually Bucky, aka Crossbones. Unbeknownst to them, is planning on suicide, blowing up himself and Captain America. After a fight, he tries this, but Scarlet Witch stops him. In the process,
You always wanted to make one? You should.
A bunch of people in the building, which is the last straw needed for the Sokovia Accords to be pushed through. Some of those killed there are relief workers from Wakanda, which draws King T'Chaka and his son Prince T'Challa into the mix. Meanwhile, Tony's off getting some motivation at MIT, where he's confronted by the mom of one of those people killed in Sokovia. It reminds Tony that while he was making jokes and putting people in bathtubs, people were dying. So Tony's pretty bummed out about this, and this helps him agree even more with the Sokovia Accords and try to push them through. King T'Chaka of Wakanda also supports the Accords, because the Wakandans were killed. General Ross shows up and tells the Avengers that the UN has decided they need to have more oversight of these Accords, which some of them are all for, and some, including Cap, are all against. They're all arguing about it, but Cap gets the message that Peggy Carter has died in her sleep, which doesn't help the situation. Also a reminder that Tony's still on break with Pepper, which has left him pretty emotionally distressed. While all this is happening, Zemo, that guy whose family died in Sokovia, realizes the Winter Soldier is the key to tearing the Avengers apart. So he finds an old Hydra officer and seals the key to reactivating Bucky's mind control, and eventually gets his hands on a videotape of Bucky killing Tony's parents. These are all the perfect ingredients for some civil war. Steve goes to Peggy's funeral and finds out this girl, who he really has zero chemistry with, is her niece. Go figure. The Avengers then head out to Vienna, where the Accords are being signed. Here, Prince T'Challa meets and becomes friends with Black Widow. However, Zemo's plan continues as he blows up the meeting, pretending to be Bucky while doing it. T'Chaka is killed, and this sends T'Challa on an angry hunt for Bucky, who's currently still living peacefully in Bucharest.
Are you going to make the Hall of Armor round? Good question, Gracie. No, I'm not going to make it round because I want to be able to show the actual Iron Man. So if I do it, if I make it like all the way round, then it's going to cut off like a good percentage of them. So I don't want to make it round, but that's a good question.
A big chase ensues where T'Challa dons the Black Panther outfit as the mantles have been passed down to him to try and kill Bucky. Cap, Falcon, Bucky, and T'Challa are caught and taken to a facility where their stuff is taken away. They're scolded for a bit and meet Everett Ross, this government guy. That's more or less a scarecrow. Tony and Steve talk things out, but it goes nowhere. And Zemo gets into the facility pretending to be a psychiatrist and gets the Winter Soldier under his control. A big fight ensues involving a bunch of Avengers, which culminates in Zemo escaping and Captain Falcon running off with Bucky. Bucky reveals that there are 5 other Winter Soldiers in Cryo-Freeze in Siberia, and that Zemo is probably planning on reactivating them to take over the world. In reality, Zemo goes to Siberia to lure Cap, Bucky, and Iron Man there in order to show how Bucky killed Tony's parents, so they'll kill each other. He has no use for the Winter Soldiers, so he shoots all of them. So the government tells Tony to go get Cap and Bucky back, and Cap leads a superhero team in order to get to Siberia. So he, Falcon, and Bucky get their stuff back. Cap calls in Hawkeye, who helps get Wanda on their team after a brief confrontation with Vision, which really should have ended with Hawkeye being incinerated, and Falcon recommends Ant-Man. Tony also has a pretty good team, with Rhodey, Black Widow, T'Challa, but he doesn't think it's quite enough. He believes that Spider-Man vigilante we saw on YouTube could help, so he figures out it's actually Peter Parker and goes to recruit him. It works. You know, instead of going for the well-known vigilantes that were very close by, he goes for the 15-year-old kid. Happy's sent to pick up Peter and take him to Germany, and Peter decides to vlog the whole thing. Tony also gives him a way upgraded Spider-Man suit to use. Cap and his team are in an airport in Germany to get to Siberia, and so Tony's team shows up to stop them. There's a huge battle, and with the help of a distraction from the Giant Man, Cap and Bucky get away. Black Widow also helps them, but she owes Cap a favor. While trying to stop them, Vision accidentally disables Rhodey's rotation armor, causing him to plummet to the ground and become paralyzed. Tony's like, what the hell, man? How's this possible? You're a robot. And Vision's like, yeah, I don't know. The rest of Cap's team is arrested and sent to a superpowered prison called Lab, and Peter is sent on his way home. He's still super excited about the experience. However, Tony soon realizes he's made a terrible mistake after he discovers evidence that Cap was actually telling the truth, and Bucky's innocent. So he heads off to help them in Siberia, followed closely by Black Panther, who still wants to pursue revenge. They all get there, Zemo reveals his evil plan, which makes T'Challa realize Bucky's innocent, and then shows Tony the video of
BB Bills, what's up?
Tony's blinded by rage and a fight breaks out.
Am I going to use the new Hall of Armor? Yeah, when it comes out. I don't know if it's out already. I've been trying to stay away from buying new Lego sets. I've been focused on my classes and teaching, so I haven't really gotten into looking at the new sets and purchasing new sets. So
get rid of your mind control and probably give you a new arm. Bucky's like, yeah, that sounds fun, but first we gotta go break our friends out of jail, which him and Cap do. Zemo is taken in and teased by Everett Ross. Rhodey gets new robot legs to help him walk, and Cap sends Tony a letter apologizing, along with a phone for him to call if he ever needs help. Then he goes off to Wakanda, where Bucky's taken care of.
I like the new format. Tightening the build ratio makes it fit better with the figs. Thank you, Moto. I appreciate that, Corey. I do have to go. You're amazing. Love what you choose to next gen. They will overshadow my stuff. You will kick my butt. Those architecture builds. Man, those young kids, these young kids are gonna outshadow all of us, man. They're on a whole nother level, and they're getting a fresh start to some of the stuff that we're just catching on to. So, but Moto, man, I appreciate you stopping by, man. Seriously, you are the best at what you do. So never change, man. Thank you so much. Papa Gun, Lego. What's going on? My favorite Lego Master team. Boom. Thank you. I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much.
On the plus side, no one on Earth will be affected.
Thank you so much for that. Tip my hat to you, my man. Thank you so much, Papa Gonna Brick.
Daisy's pretty upset.
I appreciate that.
So she decides to go rogue and become a vigilante known as Quake, helping out humans against people like the Watchdogs. So after his adventures with the Avengers, T'Challa is going back to Wakanda to become king. On the way, he picks up his ex-girlfriend Nakia from an undercover mission so she can be there for his coronation. Spoilers, he freezes. At T'Challa's coronation, M'Baku of the Jabari tribe, those guys who live in the mountains away from the rest of the population, tries to challenge his right to the throne, but T'Challa defeats him and spares his life. Meanwhile, Eric Killmonger, whose name is Willie Stevens, but I'm calling him Killmonger, has put into effect his plan.
Right now, I'm redoing my original Hall of Armor. So my Hall of Armor, what used to look like this, I'm rebuilding it because I want it to look a little bit tighter and I want it to curve a little bit better. So this is the difference here. So as you can see, they're a little bit tighter, a little closer. That's how I originally wanted to look. So that's how I'm going to change it up.
T'Challa brings Ross back to Wakanda, where Shuri, his little sister, tech genius, saves his life with the advanced Wakanda tech. Killmonger's plan continues as he kills Claw in order to get into Wakanda, where he reveals he's got a claim to the throne, as he's T'Challa's cousin. He challenges T'Challa in combat, kills Zuri, who's still there, and beats T'Challa, throwing him off a waterfall. T'Challa is found and saved by the Jabari tribe and M'Baku.
Cardin, how you doing, my friend?
King and gets the powers of the Black Panther from the heart-shaped ribbon, before demanding the rest of their people.
Oh, thank you so much. What? You are lucky. You're building a Voltron. Oh my gosh, man. That's dope, man. You know how long I've been trying to get a Voltron? Man, I've been trying to get Voltron so long. Man, enjoy that build, man. Enjoy that build. Enjoying the video? Cardin. Not tonight, my friend. Not tonight. Don't worry, though. In a couple weeks, we're going to have something that's called Fan Appreciation Night. So I will be highlighting the fans. And you guys will definitely have your chance to come on and share whatever you want to share. Okay? So don't worry, my man. Just be patient with me, okay, buddy? You will definitely get your chance, and I will definitely let you know ahead of time when we're having that fan appreciation.
So he's like, you should go check that out. Now, very long and boring and totally short, Black Bolt has a brother called Maximus, who is always unhappy because he didn't get any human powers, so he stages a coup to be the true ruler of Avalon, the Moon City. This ends with Black Bolt and the royal family being sent to Earth, where they have crazy adventures involving falling in love with humans, fighting drug dealers, trying on outfits, etc. They eventually make it back to the moon and defeat Maximus. However, his evil plan involved destroying the entire city of Avalon, so Black Bolt uses his power for the third and only cool time in the entire show to trap Maximus there, and then moves all the humans to Earth, where they'll carry on as a happier society. That, I imagine, we'll never see again. And yes, I did watch that entire show. I just wanted to spare you all of the details. Alright, now listen. This is where another big point of contention is. And people will get mad at me for this, but don't get mad at me, get mad at Marvel, alright? Actually, don't get mad at me. It's not that big of a deal. Also, if you just want to continue with the timeline and don't care about this explanation, click to this point in the video. This is the only way I can do this. It's been pretty much confirmed that the Avengers takes place in 2012 and Civil War takes place in 2016. Homecoming takes place a few months after Civil War. Great, but that's apparently also 8 years after the Avengers because for some reason Marvel put this title card in Spider-Man Homecoming. On top of that, Vision says in Civil War that Iron Man revealed himself to the world 8 years ago, putting Iron Man in 2008. But it's also 6 months before Iron Man 2, which is set in 2010. Why do you do this to me, Marvel? Which one is it? So yes, this timeline isn't perfect. It actually could be. But I'm just going to go off the thing that makes the most sense relatively here. So I'm saying Homecoming is set in 2016, a few months after Civil War. So Peter is back to school with his buddy Ned.
I had to check something real quick.
Currently, he's just helping people in the streets and he's going to see.
Hey, Joe, what's going on? And your story of doing Lego in the hospital with your brother Got her hooked to the show. Oh man, that's awesome. Papa gonna break. That's awesome, man. Keep building, love catching you on here. Oh, thank you, Bearded Brick. Thank you, Bearded Brick. I appreciate that, man. My fiance, finally appreciate my hobby. That is awesome. Papa gonna break, man. That's one of the best things I've heard, man. I'm so happy that me and my brother's story, really inspired and really inspired your fiance to enjoy your hobby, man. That's awesome, man. Seriously, it's not. Trust me, this is not an easy hobby to get others involved in. So I'm happy to hear that, man.
He finds out where Toombs is doing his next deal. It's on a ferry, and he almost saves the day, but things go horribly wrong. The ferry is shot down the middle and almost sinks. Iron Man sees this happening and shows up to save the day just in time. He's like, well, you messed up big time, kid. Give me the suit back forever. Peter's pretty sad about this, but goes back to being a normal teen, even asking Liz out to homecoming. On homecoming night, though, he finds out that Toombs is her dad and realizes he has to save the day without his blue suit. Toombs also figures out that Peter is Spidey in the most intimidating micro-people way possible. Toombs' big ultimate plan is to hijack a plane full of old Avengers tech so he can sell it all, make a fortune, and finally retire. With the help of Ned, his old homemade suit, his police car, and the power of believing in yourself, Spidey manages to catch up to him and eventually stop him. He does the right thing and saves Toombs' life, who ends up in jail. Because of this, and because Toombs is a relatively reasonable guy, he doesn't give up Peter's secret identity to a fellow convict. Liz moves away, Peter continues life, and becomes better friends with a girl called MJ. And Tony, being the terrible father figure that he is, determines this is all part of a big plan of his, and asks Peter if he wants to be an Avenger full-time. Peter does the right thing and says no. Tony's surprised, but he's not too upset, because he's gotten back with Pepper, after presumably a lot of long talks, and he maybe proposes to her. Peter decides to keep helping the little guy, and unfortunately his Aunt May discovers that he's really Spider-Man. Alright, so Stephen Strange is finally finishing his training. And yeah, he's gotten pretty solid at mastering Mystic Arts. Meanwhile, Caecilius is still trying to figure out how to get Dormammu to come over from the Dark Dimension to engulf everything. He breaks into one of the sanctums, and the Masters of the Mystic Arts have a fight. With Strange getting some help from the Cloak of Reputation. Caecilius reveals that the Ancient One has been drawing power from the Dark Dimension, and then after another fight, he kills him. Mordo is pretty unhappy that the Ancient One has been lying the whole time, but he still helps fight against Caecilius. Caecilius goes to the Hong Kong Sanctum, kills Wong, and unleashes Dormammu to destroy the world. Strange uses the nifty time stone to bring Wong back to life and goes into the Dark Dimension, where he faces Dormammu. He introduces Dormammu to the concept of time, creates a fun new catchphrase, Dormammu, I come to bargain, and threatens to trap him in a time loop until Dormammu agrees to leave. Dormammu hates the time loop, but it's like, yeah, right, I'm out of here. He also takes Caecilius and his minions away with him. After the Ancient One and the time messing, Mordo is pretty upset.
That's dope, man. I'm happy for you, bro. Happy for you. Lego Canadian, what's up, man?
He's going to go around cleaning him up, starting with that guy. So yeah, he's a villain. Strange goes back to the New York Sanctum to keep protecting the world and keep an eye out for other worldly threats. So now over to Frank Castle, who, having finished his punishing days, is trying to live a normal life and make a building. He comes out of the
trying to figure this out right here.
To go after a nice guy at his job. He's also still friends with his old war buddy Curtis. Homeland agent Madani is now investigating him because she thinks he might have something to do with her old partner's death, which he most certainly did. Frank watches that exact video that Michael left at his house. Madani wants that video back, and so she talks to Castle's old army buddy / secret backstabbing bastard Billy Russo, and they start a romantic relationship. Oh man, that is not user-friendly. Frank gets help from his old buddy Karen Page to track down Micro, along the way killing Madani's boss. Frank's not very nice to Micro when he finds him, but soon they become friends and share info on their pasts. Micro with the video sharing and getting shot, going undercover, and Frank with his time to servers, shooting. They team up to get at some point, the Castle also comes back and they were it looks like there's still people out there who need to. Also, everyone thinks Castle's dead. Johnny is looking at the interview, and then figures out that that guy is going to servers. Who really needs to be killed. Russo is in the just protect defense. Service is pretty and Russo's like, don't worry about it. What happens is a in general, trying to become stressed on my career, line. I love the line. There's a war vet who's building bombs. And Donnie figures out Russo's a bad guy. It's amazing. At the end, Frank murders a bunch of Russo's men,
All right.
and Russo kidnaps Michael's family. Frank, now knowing Russo's a bad guy, a little too late, ends up in Russo's hands. He's tortured for a bit by Russo, and then tortured for a bit by Agent Orange. Until Russo, because they were friends at some point, decides Frank shouldn't be tortured too much. So he helps Frank kill Agent Orange and then runs away. Frank and Russo have their final showdown at night on the carousel where Frank's family was killed. Russo first shoots Madani in the head, although she survives. Then Frank beats him up for a bit and decides not to kill him, but instead disfigure his...
You know, sometimes I don't like, and it happens, you purchase a piece, or you purchase a bunch of the pieces, but then you realize that you probably don't need the pieces anymore. You should have ordered a different set of pieces. The joys of building a mock with no instructions. Minnie Mouse, I'm going to head out because I have an advertisement appointment tomorrow morning. Have a great night, Corey. I'm doing my live stream tomorrow at 8 o'clock, so come and check it out. Definitely, Minnie Mouse. Thank you. Let me see. Hopefully, I will be home by then. If I'm home by then, I will definitely come on and support you, my young sister.
This is done by sacrificing a young person to give Jonah energy. Jonah's ultimate plan is to dig really deep under the city to get some special rocks that'll give him powers. Sound familiar? And getting these kids' parents to help him. Also, Jonah is Carolina's dad, so she has powers. And Molly has super strength, but she was near some special rocks, but her parents died in that explosion. Find out their parents are in a weird cult and start to fight against them.
So there has to be a pattern to this.
Along the way, romances and teen drama develop, as well as some adultery drama with the parents, which all culminates in a final battle between the parents and the kids. The kids manage to stop Jonah from drilling under the city and causing the whole thing to collapse. And in the end, the kids run away. Also, there's a dinosaur. The parents are torn apart. And
All right, I might know what to do here.
So now the SHIELD team are still looking for Daisy, who's off being a
The mini hammer, I love it. Yeah, man, this mini hammer became my best friend during the show.
Yo, you can encounter her while fighting some Watchdog members after signing the Sokovia Accords. They also start hearing more about the Ghost Rider, that superpowered vigilante who's going around doing a similar thing as the Punisher. Also, the SHIELD team and Daisy start investigating the Bowers. If you don't remember, don't blame me if you don't, are ghosts who can make you crazy by touching them. Daisy decides to team up with Ghost Rider to fight these ghosts. Because guess what? Ghost Rider is the only one who can kill ghosts. The more you know. All while this is happening, Dr. Radcliffe is tagging along with the SHIELD people and is secretly building a very lifelike AI robot lady called Ada. Not creepy at all. After some convincing, he gets Fitz to help him with Ada. The ghost busting is going on, but the team soon discovers that Ghost Rider's uncle really is the bad guy in this situation. So they fight him for a bit, including getting trapped in this middle dimension. SHIELD get their hands on the Darkhold, that book from the Hell Dimension, and May's like, Dr. Radcliffe, read this book so you can get our friends out of that weird middle dimension. Radcliffe is like, no, that book makes people crazy. But my female robot friend can do it. That's totally not going to blow up in their faces. Ada reads it and gets the crew back, but also is super intelligent now and starts building her own brain. And if you've seen any film about artificial intelligence, including in this very universe, you probably know where this is going. Yep, Ada's becoming pretty evil, and so she kidnaps May and replaces her with a life model decoy. Meanwhile, Daisy comes back to S.H.I.E.L.D., and her name is publicly revealed. Radcliffe kind of goes evil now as well, and teams up with Ada because he wants to get his hands on this Darkhold. Once again, it's very much the ring from Lord of the Rings. S.H.I.E.L.D. is also still fighting the Watchdogs, including their big Russian leader.
Making a change right here.
Ada builds this thing called the Framework, which is basically the Matrix. It's a virtual world you can go into and live in, and it's great. Radcliffe and Ada start kidnapping S.H.I.E.L.D. people, replacing them with lookalike robots, and putting their actual minds inside the framework. So eventually, Daisy and Simmons, the only two that are left, bust out of there after a robot fight and get themselves into this framework. Now look, I'm going to skip over this pretty much entirely, because there's a whole world in there, but remember, it's entirely virtual. So really, this whole computer world is where Hydra took over, Grant Ward is back, but it's not Hydra this time. It's pretty great. Fitz is this evil Nazi scientist, Coulson is a history teacher, Mac has the daughter he always wanted, and so on and so on. Ada also goes even more rogue against Radcliffe, so he's also trying to help the team. Also, along the way, Jeffrey Reyes
check this out.
and then dies. Just so you know. Eventually, they go out after some crazy adventures. Ada gives herself a human body with superpowers and emotions, so that's cool. Also, Fitz is pretty weirded out about being a Nazi scientist. After some more fights, Ghost Rider shows back up and decides Ada, the Darkhold and all that, is probably bad news, so he's gonna kill her. He lets Coulson borrow the Ghost Rider powers to kill Ada, but at the price of Coulson getting this horrible, infectious Ghost Rider disease that slowly eats away at his heart. Ghost Rider takes back the spirit of vengeance and takes the Darkhold back to the dimension of hell. The government is now after the SHIELD team, which they think are terrorists, so the team goes for one last meal at a diner. However, Enoch, One Punch, shows up, kidnaps all the team except for Fitz, and uses a new monolith to send the team about 70 years into the future to the year 2091. Now, I know what you're thinking. What the fuck just happened? And that's what I'm thinking too. We are so close to the end of this. So perfectly close. We almost didn't have a totally universe timeline-shattering event take place. But now, there's this. So look, I sort of have to gloss over this. What I'm going to say happens for the sake of this video, even though yes, I'm fully expecting several essays in the comments on why this is wrong, is that the SHIELD team is sent to the year 2091 in an alternate dimension where Daisy destroyed the world and crew took over humanity, giant space station. Back on Earth, Fitz grows himself for 70 years, Cap style, and got from the future to help, and after some adventures fighting the Kree, they get back to present day in the correct dimension. There are holes in that, I know, but maybe they'll explain this better later. That's my bad. I'm recording this after the 100th episode, so if some epic revelation comes out after that, sorry, I haven't seen it yet. The team's now dealing with Coulson's Ghost Rider disease, Yo-Yo has lost both their arms, and the government is still out to capture them. And Fitz and Simmons finally got married. Oh, also their grandson has trouble back in with them. No big deal. That's where we're leaving the SHIELD team, alright? Episode 100. Now let's take a look back with Jessica Jones, who after
This
killing
is
Kilgrave
coming together a little bit better.
is known as a vigilante in New York, but she's still working as a private investigator. Her neighbor Malcolm, who is now a business associate. This other PI is also trying to take over a business, Hogarth, but Jessica's got bigger problems. Trish, her best friend and favorite talk show host, is like,
Alright.
she look into IGH. That company
All right,
gave you-
I got to make some changes here.
Nah, I don't want to. But
The height of this is off by one plate. So I got to switch the height of this.
Helping to tie up any loose ends. Jessica's mom also kills a former IGH doctor, Kozlov, and Will Simpson, Trish Walker's old boyfriend. Hogarth is diagnosed with ALS, so that sucks. Jessica meets her mom, not knowing who she is, and discovers the powers she has. Jessica's mom kills another guy with her super strength, and Trish starts using those super steroids from IGH that Will used to use, that make you super strong for a short period of time. It's a good adrenaline boost, but it's also a drug that has some pretty nasty side effects, and soon Trish becomes addicted. Also, Hogarth houses a former IGH nurse, and Professor Jessica, who ends up manipulating her by pretending to cure her ALS with a friend of hers, and then stealing all of her stuff. Pretty messed up. One of the most messed up things that happened to me. Hogarth gets revenge over her. Jessica eventually discovers that this woman is her mom, and the whole truth about everything she did. She's like, wow, that's
All right.
awful. I hate you.
Redoing
But
this.
mom tries to talk. So they hang out, have some more adventures, get shot at, the usual mom-daughter stuff. Jessica.
Hey, Quarantine Creations, how you doing?
Awesome. That other PI tries to kill Jessica's mom, so Jessica's mom tries to kill him. But Jessica thinks that's wrong, and so calls the cops and gets her mom arrested. Jessica's mom is almost sent to the raft where a capsule team stayed, but Hogarth gets her some more time. Everyone's looking for Dr. Carl at this point, the main IGH guy. Jessica, so she can get him out of the country, so her mom can get a good sentence. And Trish, because she wants to get her powers, so she can fight crime and be like Jessica. Jessica goes on a side quest to take down this prison guard who's tormented her mom and has killed lots of prisoners before, and ends up accidentally killing him in self-defense. This causes her to be haunted by the spirit of Kilgrave, talking about how much of a killer she's becoming inside of her own head. But that goes away when she becomes a better person. Trish gets some super juice put in her and gets some powers, but Jessica stops the procedure before it's complete. Dr. Carl kills himself and all the IGH equipment. After Jessica's mom hears this, she breaks out of prison in a rage. She's got super strength and also super anger issues. She tries to kill Trish, because she blames her for Dr. Carl's death, but Jessica stops her. She almost kills her, but decides not to. Jessica's mom then kidnaps her, and Jessica eventually decides maybe they can work together. After doing some
Hey, Dust Mirage, how you doing?
fighting team in Canada, but eventually have to avoid the police. They end up at an amusement park.
Logan, good to see you. We got about a little bit under a minute to go. Total reconstruction, deconstruction of my Hall of Armor.
Hogarth gets a bunch of money and starts her law firm, and Jessica starts living.
I'm actually good with it. I like redoing things, especially if I think that it will look better in the long run. So Marilyn, I took your advice and I decided to keep it the same way but just tweak a few things on it. So it's still going to look the same. It's just going to look tighter. So you guys have a great night. Take care, y'all.
Surtur tells Thor that Odin's gone from Asgard and that he's going to destroy Asgard.
All right. Yeah, man. I'm out of here, man.
Surtur steals his crown and goes back to Asgard. Here he finds Loki still impersonating Odin, having rebuilt Asgard somewhat in his
I am out of here, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. You guys have a great night.
Discovered that Odin has moved out of the retirement home where Loki left him. In the same city, Doctor Strange discovers that Loki, the guy who tried to destroy the world a while back, is back on Earth. So he apprehends him.
Yeah, so you guys have a great night. I will see you guys mañana. Take care, y'all. Oh, man. Ali, I was building I'm reconstructing my my Hall of Armor. My Iron Man Hall of Armor. I'm reconstructing it. Take care, you guys.